Well, folks, I'm back. We've been having some technical difficulties with the internet service here at the casino, so it's been booting off people off of the Facebook stream. We've been losing it. So, for people that have come back in on the stream, we'll finish out this match here between Earl and Barry. Barry's made some uncharacteristic mistakes here in the last two racks and give Earl an extra chance. Earl's working his way through this rack right now. He's shooting solids. Looks like he's got the 5 here. The 7 might go too, but I'd kind of like shooting the 7 if you can get it. I like that shot. He wanted to go through that ball a little more so that he could just roll forward for the 5. Now he's going to be going towards that 10 ball, so this is going to make it dicey right here because of where that 10 ball's at. If he can pinch this ball in and just take a cut on the 5, I think he's going to have to do it. I wouldn't try to do anything more than just give yourself a shot. He could come back and forth across. Great shot. He was able to beat the 10. That's a good shot. Then that was definitely what he wanted to do. Earl's got a little pep in his step here. You know, Barry hooked himself on that run out on that last one. Just a bad hook job he did, and Earl took advantage of it. Now he got a little bit of adrenaline boost from it. Now he got out. It's 3-1 Earl. It's a race to 6 alternating breaks. Template racks are allowed. Doesn't look like they're using them. It's basically BCA rules. It's open on the break. The 8 ball is not neutral. It's not a loss if you scratch on the 8 ball unless you pocket it. If the cue ball is frozen to an object ball, you can push through it as long as you declare that it's frozen. You cannot double hit, of course. Yeah, it's back on. We got booted off. The internet service here, we lost connection, and it did it about twice or 3 times in a row. I think this is the 3rd time I've tried to boot it back up, so hopefully it stays on and we can finish this match out. Earl's breaking, and he got the 12. Ball came all the way through everything and knocked it in. He's going to like to see that. He's 8's looking good. So that's not an issue in the rack right now. So now I turn my attention to starting shots. Where's my trouble? Let's see here. I like stripes if you can get them, which you can because you can shoot the 15. That 7 and that 4 are in a bad spot. The 3 blocks this pocket a little bit down here. The 1 does pass the 10. So solids aren't, they're not absolutely terrible, but I think I slightly favor the stripes. But he's going to want to deal with this issue right here, right away. You know, he doesn't, he put down 1 stripe on the break, and if he can come into him right now, I almost like doing it. If he can go into the rail and spin back down, I don't know if he can or not. The side might just be there. Yeah, I think the side is in the way even if you were to use spin. He overcut the ball. It's never good to miss a ball if you're trying to make it, and especially when it's an open table. Yeah, it's an open table. He's questioning Barry as whether it's open. Yeah, he potted the one stripe on the break, and he didn't make a ball, so it's open table for Barry. But yeah, it's never good to miss the opening shot. That's a no-no and one of the real big no-nos in pool. You always want to get established on the. I like that shot from Barry, at least what he tried to do. Get to the trouble immediately while you have that insurance ball in the corner pocket down here. He's going to set the angle up for the 9 to break him out, or he's going to go into him again. Didn't realize he could quite get over there, but that's... Boy, he's letting her rip, but it's working out because he's always got an insurance ball. So you're seeing the importance of insurance. Having a good outlet ball, safety valve. Oh, he's looking real nice now. 11 ball is a beautiful key ball for the 8 in the side. So yeah, welcome back everyone. We had technical difficulties there. We got booted off the stream, so appreciate anybody that come back in. I'm in here for the long haul. I'll be here all tomorrow commentating all the down the stretch for the big matches. So unfortunately for me this year, I made the cut this year, which is 5 years consecutive. I've made the redraw, but I had a 4-year run where I was in the top 9 for 4 straight years. This year I ended up 25th. I lost Hill both my matches 6-5, 6-5. I lost to Jason Klatt. I drew him. I was up 4-0. He was breaking in rack 5. I'm up 4-0. He's breaking. He hooked himself on the 8 on his run out. He jumps it in. And then so that was an ERO, and then he ERO'd the next 4 racks. I dry broke twice. He broke and ran 2 of them. So he had 5 consecutive EROs to take a 5-4 lead. So he's breaking in I'm breaking in rack 10, down 5-4, and I dry break again for the 5th time in the match. And he's running out. He hooks himself on the 8. He doesn't get it, and I run out, tie it up 5-5. He scratches in the side, and I hooked myself running out. Just a foolish, stupid decision I made. Ended up losing 6-5. Nice break there from Barry. Got balled down. I definitely like solids here. I think he's going to come into the 5 right now, if he can. He's got insurance with the 4. He's elevating to see if he can do it. He might not have good cueing. Boy, if he could be over just a little bit, he could easily come into that 5 and open it up and be on the 4, but I don't know if he's... Yeah, he's going to elevate and try to do it, I think. No, he's not. He's going to go play for the 4 next. Yeah, he's playing the 5-4 combo here. He can get in there and just get enough of it to make it. Or is he crossing the 5? He must be crossing the 5. Because if the 4 doesn't go with the combo, he wouldn't have got there unless he was planning on banking the... banking the 5 crosswise, because that would have made no sense to play it how he played it there unless he was playing for the combo or the cross bank on the 5. He just wouldn't have played it there. It's a great tournament here, folks. This is one that you definitely want to come and at least check out. They put on a great tournament here. I think it's a great tournament. Opinions vary. Everybody likes what they like, and I think it's well run. John Stitch runs the event, and the committee puts on a great event here. The Four Bears pool committee that puts this event together, they do a really solid job. So, and there's a lot of pool. All the brackets can be found on mpapool.com. This is going to be, yikes. He's got the 6 ball. He's scrambling now. Yeah, you can tell it's late for Barry. He's not in any mode to try to grind. When Barry is fresh, Barry is a grinder. He's trying to play rhythm because he's not, he's wore down, and that's what you typically do. You just try to play quicker, and your mind just does not want to grind, so you just shoot quick. And this is usually not Barry's style, for sure. He's more methodical. That's a great shot. That was good cueing, though. No, he hit that one nice. You see the pause he had. He addressed that cue ball really nice. He's moving quickly, but he's still he's aligning right and still cueing properly, though. He's just making quicker decisions. That was a great shot on that 6 ball. I think he can drag this out backwards. Kind of a drag draw back out to the middle of the table. Yeah, 2 rails was perfect. Yeah, that was the better way to play it. I don't think he could have drew it. He was too close to the rail. This is a nice out from Barry. But see how dead he's taking dead aim on the balls. He's thinking quick, but he's still making sure his fundamentals are solid. 3-3. If you're just tuning back in, if you just made it back on the stream, we lost the connection for a while there, so welcome back to Railbird Pool TV here. We're at Four Bears. Of course, most of you know that, but there might be some people that don't. Four Bears Casino and Lodge in Newtown, North Dakota. This is a 13th through 16th place match on the one-loss side of the bracket. The winner comes back for the 9th through 12th in the morning at 9 a.m. This is, I think it's about a $110 set. The winner is guaranteed $560. Unfortunately, whoever is defeated in this match is going to be out of the tournament for $450. So 13th through 16th. You can find all those brackets on mpapool.com. I'll post it here in the chat. There it is, mpapool.com. You'll find all the brackets, including all the second chance tournaments yesterday. They had 2 second chance tournaments. We started Thursday with the ladies division 9 ball. We had the men's open 10 ball. But then for the players that didn't cash in any of those events, they could partake in the second chance tournaments for the ladies and the men's 10 ball and 9 ball. And those were $500 added events. So the second chance for the men's open 8 balls, $1,000 added. So a lot of pool here. We crowned a champion in the women's ladies 9 ball. That was Soledad Ayala, I'm not sure how to pronounce that. but from Argentina. She took down this gal out of Europe. She goes by Lulu, I think is her nickname in the States. 694 player out of, I believe it was Turkey, I'd like to say. She's from her. They went hill, and then Corey Deuel defeated Tyrell Blowers in the 10-ball in the final. He paid him back for Wyoming Open last week. Tyrell ended up beating Corey in the 10-ball at the Wyoming Open last week, so. It's a good break there from Earl. It's 3-3. It's a race to 6 alternating breaks. I definitely, I think I favor solids here. I mean, stripes are pretty accessible too, but where the 8-ball is at, actually, if I reevaluate it, I think I might have ended up taking stripes in this run out. Now that I had time to really. Simply because the 11 led to the 9, so that really wasn't an issue. And the 8 does go in the lower left. You just had to get on those 2 balls to the right, which wasn't an issue. There's a gap between the 7 and that stripe that's north of the 14 there, and then you could have picked that ball off. The 13 goes in the right side, but the solids will work too. This one was pretty close. This one was more, I had talked about it earlier, some of them are just glaringly obvious. This one here was a little bit of thought had to be put into it, which group was actually the more dominant group. But I don't think there was just a total domination by one set over the other. So a lot of it's personal preference and what kind of a shot repertoire you have can determine a lot of what groups you take also. Especially when you got near a 50-50 or a 55-45 split, you know, or something on those percentages of which group is better. And of course, opening shots dictate a lot of what groups you go for in those situations, what kind of starter you got. But me personally, I work backwards from the 8-ball, so that's the biggest thing I look for first. But I grew up playing a lot of bar box 8-ball in the bars where you're playing races to 2, so that's a really good strategy to use when you're not looking to try to run every single rack out. You know, in this kind of a format with this equipment we're playing on, it's more table running pool. It's conducive for more table runs. A little longer race also. So if you stall one time, you're not necessarily going to lose. In a race to 2, you stall once, you're pretty much curtains. But got some newcomers on the stream. We're back up to 57. I see we got Jeremy Dvorak, welcome. Kevin Perdue, Robert Pulver, Maynard Demery, Matt Thomas. Mike Matich is watching probably from his room. Jeremy Frost is probably watching from his room. They're both in the tournament. We got Joe Heilman. Julie Ray Bonnell is watching from her room, or at some point was watching. Kayla and Todd Kraft. That's at least the people on my friends list anyways. On Facebook. Well, Earl has kind of got himself out of position as he's worked through this rack, and it's never a good thing when you're coming to your end pattern, especially when your opponent has all the balls pretty much on the table. It's one thing you get a little bit out of shape when he's down on the 8 and you're running out 6 wide open balls. You can recover so much more easily. The 2 does not pass the 9, I don't believe. So he's in big trouble here. If it passed, he might be able to float down just to the right of the 13 and take the cut on the 2 if it went in the lower left. But if it doesn't, which I don't think it does, he's got serious problems here. Because he could cut it now in the lower right. It might. I don't know if he can get in there. I think if he can get on the 2 now and cut it, I think you got to cut it in the lower right. If he can do that. He's looking at something else here. The 3 definitely passes the lower left. The question is if the 2 goes by the 9. If you're going to play that shot. If it passes the 9, then you can slide over and take the cut on the 2 after you shoot the 3. But he was looking at the 2 now, cutting the 2. Yeah, you got to cut the 2 in the lower right if the 2 doesn't pass the 9 on the lower left. You just got to go for it. You got to tell yourself it's time to make the ball. You got to be a shot maker now. Put all your focus into making this ball. You're going to get a shot if you make it. He banked it. Wow, what a shot. He couldn't get in there on it and cut it. But he fired the bank, rocketed it right in, hit it clean, hit it. And it gave him automatic position on the 3 ball. That's a smart shot. I like how he played that there. You don't need to draw back and try to invite the 13 into play if you don't hit it good. I mean, you could draw back there, but if you hit it good. But if you don't hit it good, you get yourself right on that 13 ball. So that's very smart. Just take the shot on the 8. You know you can make that 8. You know you can make that 8 almost every time. So, nice out there from Earl. Earl went the wrong direction. He's trying to take games away from himself. There he goes back up to 4. Successful break from Barry. Ooh, look at the 8 ball here. This is a chance to see some major decisions are to be made now. Look where the 8 ball's at. It's stuck over there a little bit. I mean, it banks and that. You can cut it all the way to the lower left if you get in there, but those are tough shots. You know, having to bank that 8 or cut that all the way in the lower left unless you move it and develop it, you know, better. So he's got some decisions ahead of him, and he's going to have some great execution here to run out here. The 11 and the 6 aren't exactly the greatest either, so. But he didn't take a lot of time to evaluate the table, so. He's been shooting quicker. His decisions have been quicker in this match. And he's sticking with that rhythm. that tempo in his game. His stroke's still been pretty good though. He's made some nice shots, some nice cueing shots. He's not getting careless by any stretch. He's just, like I said, I think he's just tired and he's going with the quicker game, not trying to overthink too much right now. But if he gets through this match, if you get to watch him tomorrow, I bet you he slows down quite a bit. He'll get a little bit of sleep, but the problem is he's got to come back at 9 a.m. and it's approaching 1:30. It's so whichever one of them gets through this match is going to have to come right back. So is he playing the ticky on the 11? Or is he going to break it out? I think he breaks it out with this 14 ball right here. Yeah, he caught it full. A little quick on the action there. That's going to hurt him. That's going to hurt him big time. Now he's got to sit in the electric chair over there and watch the guy run a pretty open table now. After he did all the work, didn't get out. Now this guy gets to gets the simple situation here. And this gets Earl on the hill too. So that's a big miss there on the 14. He hit that quite a bit hard. I was surprised he hit it that hard, to be honest. He didn't need to hit that ball that hard. And that led to his stroke tempo getting a little bit fast, which is probably what caused him to miss that ball. I don't think it was bad aiming or bad alignment. I mean, he got down on the ball. He was taking dead aim on that ball. But when his stroke tempo got quick, that probably caused him to miss his spot by just a fraction, which then exaggerates the miss. You can barely miss where you're intending to hit the cue ball, or if your timing gets a little quick, and then you can butcher a ball by a half a diamond, and you might have just barely been off. That's how precise the game is. Earl ran out of position here. This will be a major mistake from Earl too. I mean, all the balls were laying open. He didn't have to develop a darn ball, and most of them were pretty lower level positional lines to work around and zones to get into. It wasn't like he had to even get into anything tight on a short side or a little bit tight. So this is just this is what you call, like I said, once again, they're just exhausted. I mean, I was tired a little bit even when I was playing earlier in my matches, and in both matches I had two decisions I made that I don't think I would have made if I was made those decisional mistakes. Let's say that if I played this morning when I first come in this morning and was fresh on six and a half hours of sleep, so that little things like that can add up. It happens to us all. We've been through it all. So he's got to come with the big shot here. There's no defense anywhere, so it's shot maker all the way. He's looking to back cut this 7. This is brutal because it wants to, at these kind of angles, you get so much cut and deuce throw. So it pushes it forward so much. So if you're going to cut these kinds of shots, you have to exaggerate It's always, you got to give it more cut than you think it needs. Yeah, because that cling or cut-induced throw is so amplified, it seems like, with these little angles where the cue ball is a little bit closer. Plus, it's harder to judge. Your eye plays tricks with you, too, when the balls are close like this. So I think I had heard, was it SVB gave a tip on these shots that it's sometimes he almost stands up so that he can see it from like above or something. But he's not doing that now. I don't know if he thinks he can beat the 5 on the bank. He made a nice bank earlier, but if he can get by the 5, I don't mind the bank here, because if he makes it, he wins. There is no defense, so you got to come with your best offensive option. And if he can beat the 5, I definitely like the bank over the back cut into the side, because you got guaranteed position. If you back cut that into the side, that cue ball's flying all over dodge. You never know what could happen. You don't really have the total route that cue ball is going to take. So now he's going back to the back cut. So he doesn't believe it beats. He doesn't believe he can beat the 5 on the bank. I think he has to warp it too much. He can go long by the 5, but then he's going to have to warp that ball. He's going to have to compress. If he did that, he would have to compress the rail a lot and straighten it out. Remember what I said, exaggerate the cut, because it clings. See how it clung? It went straight into the rail, and he hit it so hard. He didn't need to hit it that hard. His tempo on his stroke was very quick also, because he was very uncomfortable with the shot, which typically happens when you're uncomfortable with the shot. Most players, including myself, will their tempo of their stroke, it speeds up. And that creates problems, because you don't hit the cue ball cleanly. Your stroke, you might not be as straight with your stroke, which causes you to hit the ball where you're intending to. But on that shot there, you got to exaggerate the cut. I'm telling you. And right now, practice that sometime. When they're close little angles like that, they're very difficult shots to see the spot you got to hit. So I think SVB said elevate a little bit as far as your vision. Like he almost stands up a little bit sometimes on those, so that he says he can see it better from above. And he's one of the best players in the world, so. Barry didn't get anywhere where he wanted to be. He's going to have to play safe here. He could nip this 12. He's going to pocket the 5 and use the 8 to block the 7. That's a good shot if you make the 5. Otherwise, I just like nipping the 12 and burying them right on the backside of the 12. You better make sure that you put this combo down, because you might leave the 5 in the hole and let the guy at least have a chance to kick out of it and make the 5. If you make it, you're good. It's a good shot there. I think he got him. I don't know if he can see the edge of it here, though. He might have leaked out. I don't think enough to bank it. He's going to pull his jump cue out and play the jump bank. I like it. Bank it towards the side and then play for the 8 on the other side. And you got really no other choice. I mean, if you could see the edge of it, you could send the cue ball down to the bottom rail here and force him to play a thin cut or some kind of bank, if you can see any part of that 7 at all. see how he jumps. If he's really good at jumping here, I would expect him to come rather close to making this if he doesn't make it. I mean, he's got a good angle for the bank. He's going to want to slightly overcut it more than he normally would, simply because you're going to be hitting it with some power. It's going to compress the rail slightly. Is he looking to jump and cut it in the side? I don't believe that. I would jump to bank it if I was jumping. But like I said, he might have paint on that. He could send the cue ball down to that middle diamond on the short rail and force him to shoot a shot too, but if that was available. I mean, it looks like he had that though. But he's going to go for it all the way here. And that's what I was talking. Look at this. Are you kidding me? How are you living today, Earl? Jeez. Oh my goodness. How are you living today? What do you folks think of that? It's part of the game. He's got a rail first shot here though, I think. He might not though. He might have to spin, might have to slowly masse it around it. He can lag kick at this though. I don't know if he has that quality right now in his arm at this late hour, but I mean, if you kicked slowly and barely nipped the ball, you could pin him right in behind that ball, but that takes a perfect hit on it though. It takes I mean, your stroke has to be exact. So yeah, he's going to do my first option, the slightly masse it around it and then go rail first. He's not elevating much. Yeah, see, it caught it too thin. He couldn't be a level cue and make that ball. There was no way. He was going to always catch it too thin with a level cue. He had to bend it slightly and curve it into the rail to hit the correct spot. But like I said, I might have played but those little kick shots like that, those little finesse kicks, believe it or not, I'm not saying I would do it every time, but I actually don't feel too, I actually don't mind playing shots like that. It's a good shot there from Earl. Earl's going to take advantage of that great, fortunate Levy left on Barry there when he jumped, banked the 7, and then he left the 7 between the cue ball and the 8 ball. I mean, that's incredible. What did you guys think of that shot? I mean, it's unbelievable. I mean, it's just that's just unbelievable that you could get that leave. I mean, I've seen some strange things, you know, like that before over the years. But when you sit there and you see it, you're going, I mean, if you were to somehow, I mean, I'm not a math genius or anything, but if there was some way to calculate the odds of that situation and the outcome of that happening, that would be, I would love to see what the odds are, the percentages of that. Like if you shot that 1,000 times, that jump shot, how many times out of 1,000 are you going to hook them with the ball you're jumping on? With what was we were down to 2 balls? Yeah, there was 2 balls on the table, or 3 balls, excuse me. He was jumping to 7, and then Jumping for the 7. Yeah, that's wow. Earl's got a good starter here with the stripes. The 8 ball is sitting pretty for either group, so you're definitely, no, without any question, you're definitely taking stripes here. You don't have a great opener with the solids. The only opener you got is your duck ball on the 4 ball. There's just no way you're taking that ball to try to get position on another ball to try to develop this trash down here. So, I mean, this is obvious he's taking stripes. He's just trying to figure out what he's going to eventually do with the 13 ball. He would love to play it now if the combo's wired. The 3-ball combo, he's looking at it. But the 9 will develop the 12. He could come across into the 3 and open up the 13 also. So he can open up, I don't know if he can open up both of them. I don't think he can open up both of them, but he's got options to open up either one. But the problem is if you come across and open up the 13, bumping into the 3, where's that 7 ball going to go? Is it going to lay up on the 11? So you could create another obstacle. So he's not going to even do any of that, which this is odd that he didn't at least try to develop the 12. And he's not in a good position to play any kind of aggressive safeties. Defensive shots, you would like to be able to knock that 4 off the table if you were going to play some kind of safe. I would love to remove that 4 off the table if I'm playing defense. Because I don't see how he gets out from here. Yeah, see, and he's given Barry, I mean, he's leaving that insurance ball there. That was, I don't like that decision when he come through there. I mean, I think he intended to not hit any of those balls. I don't think he misexecuted. I think he intended to go where he went and to leave those balls there. That didn't make a whole lot of sense. Because I would have played the cue ball to play a bank on one of those solids, or one of your balls to bank over to knock the 4 in or disrupt the 4. One of those, one of the stripes, instead of playing that for that combo like he did. Yeah, if you weren't going to break out either of those 2 balls down there, then you would have played a moving game. And from there, I would have played position, like I said, to knock the 4 in. You had to get that ball off the table. But he was trying to run out, but he was doing it in a way that, to me, that was very, very strange. But you messaged me? Yeah, my phone went dead and I had to plug it back in. Let me check my messages here. Did you message me, Mike? I don't see a message. Maybe you messaged Mason. Or I don't know who you messaged. Barry's fighting to get. That's fighting to try to stay alive in the tournament. Didn't put it down. He forces Earl to have to develop the 11, of course. Because I don't think Earl's going to try to combo the 3 in. Because you really can't get the cue ball safe off the 7 or the 5. Unless you're playing like superhuman position and try to get down in behind that stripe all the way down in the upper right or up in the upper right corner after you make the combo, but you're just not going to play that shot. That's just asking too much. So he'll look to develop this. If he could spin in, the problem is if he spins into the 11 here, let's say he shoots this 13 ball here. If he hits the 11, the 3 really ain't going anywhere. So it blocks the hole. So you're going to have to give this some giddy up. That or you're going to want to try to run it into the half ball of the 3. You know, not the bottom half of but the north side of the 3 or the north side of the equator of the 3. And then that way you clear the 3 out of there and then you go into them balls still. But you don't want to hit the low side of this 3. Some bad things could happen there. You could scratch, you could get stuck if you don't use the right speed. So he's also got the 12 right now on the side. I believe it's the 12. Well, he's going to go. Nope, he's not going. He's not breaking it yet, which... this is interesting. Because he played to an area that didn't give him any breakout. That's another unusual decision because he just moved a soldier off the table without really gaining anything on the 11. And what I mean by that is he didn't play the breakout or he didn't really develop a ball or get to a ball that gets him a really good breakout. You know, a high percentage breakout. I mean, he can break it out, but he's got to move the cue ball a lot more now. Like, he can draw this. He can shoot it up the corner and probably draw back into him right now. If he's got good quality in his stroke right now, he's going to have to hit it good. He's got to hit it smooth so that it takes. Otherwise, he's going to cut this in the side. He's moving another soldier off the table. Still hasn't developed the 11. Yeah, this just doesn't make sense. He's going to try to come into it right now off this stripe up there. But then you don't have a guaranteed insurance ball. You'll have some kind of cut on the 15, but you're going to be shooting from long distance. You could also go forward off the 15 and try to go into him, and you have a better insurance ball with that other stripe. But the 7 is a big ball there, though, too, blocking you. So, and you got to come with a heck of a stroke on that 15 to do it. He's digging into it to try to do it now. He better hit it smooth so that it grabs and it takes. Otherwise, it's not going to take enough. Nope, he's not doing it yet. So now he's shooting a break to nothing with no insurance. He could have muddied up this rack too and tried to muddy up the balls too. He could have, when he was shooting that other shot, he could have cross-banked that other ball and just tried to move it over here and near the 3 ball. And then left him below these balls. What a shot. Are you kidding me? Is he going to get out of this? Nope, he's hooked. Wow, he almost a little bit short. If he'd have come up a little bit more, he'd have had it. That was an unbelievable attempt. He might have the cross bank here, though, but can he avoid the double hit? And I don't think it lays good enough to... yeah, he's going to have to twist this in with spin if he can get by the 8. Because if you see the way it lies, if to avoid the scratch, he can't go through the ball too thick. He's got to catch it a little bit more thin. So that's going to require, if he can beat the 8 ball hitting it a little thinner, it's going to come too short for banking it, so he would have to spin this. What I like doing here, once again, I call it a lag kick. I do a finesse kick. I go right in behind the 11 and just bury him on the backside of the 11. Just tickle it, and you'll wedge right in there. I like these kinds of shots. They're fun to shoot. Yeah, the cross is too much to ask. He probably can't beat the 8 anyways, hitting it thin, and if he goes through it trying to, there's just no way to beat the scratch, so. Or the double hit, hitting it that way. You got to catch it thin to avoid the double hit, but that requires beating the 8 plus using a little bit of spin to get the thing to go to reverse the 11. So the finesse kick it's going to be. That's what he's been lining up. Don't want to catch it too full here. You want to catch it just a slight thinner than John's going to watch it here, which is smart. Let's see here. Yeah, he caught it too full. Which he's blocked the 8 still, but Barry can play safe here. I like playing safe here all the way. Shoot the 7, send the cue ball up table around the first diamond to the right of the pocket there. And force him, because well, the 8 he might be able to go by the 8 and play rail first. If he can't go rail first, I play safe all the way. Oh my gosh, he didn't get him. I don't know what he was attempting to do there. He tried to roll through it. You needed to draw it slightly. You needed to draw that so you get it over to the left more. The natural forward roll was going to potentially sell out. I don't know if he sold out though or not. Plus, look where he put the 7 ball. I mean, if you hit it a little bit harder with draw, they're going to be separated apart more. Now Earl can play the finesse kick, and he isn't guaranteed to sell out an offensive shot. Barry's got a reprieve big time here. He got very fortunate that he did not leave it straight in there. That's a good shot. That's the shot there, Barry, on that attempt. He's got that finesse kick again. Can he do it? He's starting to learn it a little bit here. Can he do it this time, though? I don't like jumping here. There's no point to jumping this ball. You got to play the finesse kick again. Let's see if he learned anything from the last one. You got to catch it thin. Your only chance to get him, and it's got to be caught thin, but it's got to be extremely light to where you're just barely going to get to the rail to make it a legal hit. Anything harder and you're selling out. You're going to give him the shot. It has to be hit that precise, but you don't really have any other options in this situation. And on top of it, even if you do sell out the 7, you're not giving up the 8 ball easily. So keep that in mind. You're not going to sell out the 8 automatically. So you got to play this dead weight. It has to be to where it will just tickle the rail if you hit it. That's too hard. Even if he caught it thin, that would be too hard. But like I said, he didn't give him the 8 automatically. So it was a safe shot all the way around. But keep that in mind when you're playing that kick. You got to hit it thin to that one side, and it's got to be perfect speed. That's how hard it is to execute. That's a smart shot from Barry. That's how I thought where he would have put the cue ball the one other time that when he was shooting the 7 ball. But he's got the finesse kick again. Can he do it? This one's a lot easier though here. But once again, you hit it with the speed to where when it contacts the 11, it's just barely going to get to the rail. Just barely. That's the only way, and then you'll have it buried right on the ball. He's just going to pot the... He's just going to play the pot game here. I'm not a fan of this at all. You're giving him ball in hand. I don't like that. I mean, yeah, he's still got to break the ball out, but it's giving him too many options. Now, Barry's either going to break it out, in which he's going to go for, yeah. I didn't much care for that shot. If you kick in behind it again, even if you don't foul, as long as you don't hit it a million miles an hour, you weren't going to sell the 8 out. I didn't much care for fouling that time. I mean, there's some situations that come up that I don't mind giving up ball in hand. And then, of course, level of player makes a difference, too. If you're playing a beginner league player, you can play that shot every time, and you're probably going to win the game. But if you're playing Barry McLean, I don't like it, but it might work out for him. No. Oh, my gosh, he scratched. No. Yep, he paid for it. I didn't like that shot against an advanced player. Against a lesser player, that shot works. It does not work against these players. Not in that situation. It just doesn't. You're just inviting them to have an opportunity to. And you're saying, well, he had to play the break and then he had to play the bank. But the guy's frame of mind is he's getting something unexpected that he can't believe he actually played that. I mean, that's bizarre. Because if he plays the finesse kick and doesn't get him buried and just gets a legal hit, once again, the 8 don't move nowhere. Barry's in the same position, but then he's got to do it controlling the cue ball. He doesn't get ball in hand and set up the perfect angle to go towards the frickin' 8 ball. You're forcing him to shoot the 7, then manufacture an angle to do that off of that other ball. And then he has to decide whether he really wants to even go for it. But when you give him ball in hand, he's like, oh, this is frickin' free. This is just a free roll. Because Barry wasn't going to just play a safe there, because if he did, he would have to leave it near the rail so that Earl couldn't sit there and just knock it in again. But that would have been a dumb move for Earl to knock it in, because then Barry just plays a safe on the back side of the 8 ball. That's why the whole shot didn't even make any sense. I don't agree with that, but he's still in the tournament. So I'm not going to, I mean, it's not. Barry come up dry. Earl can count himself a little fortunate there that Barry didn't make a ball. But he's got some work ahead of him here. The 8 ball's sitting good, so there's not an issue with either grouping on who has control of the 8 as far as which group. So now I turn my attention to the trouble. Obviously the 2, 10, 4, 13. 13 really ain't that much trouble. The 4 isn't much trouble. So the combination, I like it. If you take stripes, I don't mind this. But you're looking at the 9. That's another trouble area for stripes. So you got 2 trouble areas for stripes. You got 1 semi-trouble spot for solids. So I'm going with solids here. See where that 9 ball's at? So the determining factor for me is because of where that 9 ball's at. And the solids got it surrounded. So they got that soldier surrounded. So, and the 4 develops the 2. Yeah, solids. Solids. That's what I believe is the best options there. Okay, we got Zeb Crawford stepping in the booth with me here. Howdy, Zeb. You stepped right into our last match for the night here. It's 9th through or 13th through 16th. It's a $110 set.
Okay.
So the winner's guaranteed $560, and the guy that gets defeated goes home with $450. They come back 9 a.m. tomorrow morning. So it's 5-4. Earl's up 5-4, and he's at the table. Barry come up dry on the break. And,
That's not a bad paycheck no matter what, right?
So yeah, everyone say hello to Zeb. Zeb
Howdy,
Crawford.
howdy, everybody.
See if anybody.
How's everybody enjoying the game here? Oh, I'm muted.
How's the volume now?
You guys hear me now?
Open tables tomorrow.
Thanks, Mason. Open tables tomorrow?
I don't know. Most of the tables will probably be being used. I mean, I don't know about the second chance tournaments.
There'll be open tables tomorrow.
Probably, most likely there isn't.
They typically do start shutting them down and kind of getting a little bit of an early breakdown. But I think John is kind of by himself on these, so
Ted Harris has been helping him. Him and I believe.
No, he's
just making quicker decisions than he normally would. You know, I think it's been a little bit long for him, but Earl was up 5-2 at one point of this set, so
he's got really good fundamentals. I don't think any of that's going to end up breaking down, but like you said, decision making ends up becoming faulty a little bit, just because you get a little tired, and so the tendency then is to just get a little bit more offensive than you normally would, because you don't want to think too much. You're done thinking. It's time to shoot. You just go. You know.
And that's exactly what they're doing. So.
Yep.
And I stated that earlier. They're not looking to do brain surgery right now or play chess. You know, they have made some moves, but they've been no-brainer moves that are just obvious stuff. Obvious defensive moves, but not chess matches per se, where you got 6 pieces on the puzzle on the board. And I mean, his position, he's in big trouble now, Zeb. Look at this.
He pointed where he wanted to get, and he actually would have got there had he not rubbed that 10. That 10 caused that angle to cut up the table towards the center more rather than long. So,
But barring a Houdini act here, Barry has a massive advantage to pull this to the hill.
Yeah. He was looking like he was sucking air for a while, and he's just kind of finding his way into hitting that 7 ball, and that 7 ball went a couple rails and went in for her. So
yeah, and
that was Hill.
That's part of the game, but yeah, that's that might have. Now that you bring that back, that probably was the fluke of the tournament because of the moment.
Right. Yeah.
Like you said, the moment. I forgot all about that one because I was up here commentating on that. It was.
I was looking at it and I was like, oh no, and then I was like, oh, it went. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness.
Oh man.
Well, I was happy that it happened though, because I wanted Soledad to win. So.
Now, here's a question for you. No, I'm not gonna. I don't know Soledad, so I'm not saying anything. But on average, of a pool player, you take all the pool players in the world. When a person apologizes for doing that, I wonder how many people actually mean it.
He ran a little short here on his position. He was trying to get on that 10.
Yeah, he might have to bail to a safe now, huh?
No, he's gonna. he's
cut the 12 in the side.
either the 12 in the side or
Yeah.
he might still just take the thin cut on the 10.
Yeah, he can come back and forth.
Unless he, yeah, I think that's the shot, is just take the thin cut on the 10 and put it a little inside in
You
on
wouldn't
this
think
ball.
at all, are you going behind the 12? Just go to the rail, and you don't want him jumping. I don't want him jumping at all.
The guy gave the box up to me. I'm not giving it back.
Yeah, in this situation, I'm playing the shots all the way, especially when you can shoot that shot straight in.
I didn't see he could get by that ball.
For sure, you're going for it all day long. I mean, if you had that shot.
I thought that 12 was blocking him.
Yeah, well, for sure. That's what I was thinking right away, too. Because I seen the thin cut on the 12, and I was like, well, safety is an option, too.
Yeah.
But when you got that shot in this corner like that, you're playing offense all the way.
Yeah.
There's just no way you're laying down there. If you lay down on that, you're not winning the pool tournament. There's a time to play it safe, and then there's just a time that you don't play safe. And we're going to be hill here, Zeb, so you stepped in at an opportunistic time.
Yeah, I planned it. Nah, just kidding.
You planned it, yeah. So, yeah, I lost to Clad Hill, your buddy Clad. I lost to him Hill. I was up 4-0 on him, and he had 5 EROs in a row. I dry broke twice, and he went Hill, and then I dry broke again in rack 10, Zeb, when he had the 5-4 lead. And he was running out. He hooked. Well, when I was up 4-0, he was broken ran. He hooked himself on the 8 and jumped the 8 in. Yeah. Otherwise, I'm up 5-0 on him. So then he runs out the next 4, so that's 5 EROs in a row. I break dry again. He's running down to the 8, hooks himself. He doesn't get out. I run out. It's 5-5. He blows the rack up on the break on the last game. He gives scratches. And I made the stupidest decision in the world on the run out on towards the end there.
Was it a pattern decision, or was it a what was the deal?
I chose the wrong ball, the next ball, the safe route. It wasn't a pattern decision as more as just go to the safer route.
Oh. Just taking the jacked up shot and shoot the 6. But disrupting that 7-1-4-5 area, I don't like that. I don't like moving any of those balls. But I'd be okay with just making the 6 and then just playing a bunt safety and then make him start to try to do some stuff with those stripes. Because there's just too many problems that he has. He doesn't have any corner pockets on the foot, right? And he doesn't have anything to do with a 15 ball, so.
You're definitely attacking here.
I'm not attacking to run out, but I'm attacking to establish my set of balls on the solids.
And then you're going to play a moving game after that.
And I'll play a moving game.
And like I said,
I didn't think that ball went.
Oh, okay. It didn't look like it did because he overcut it quite a bit, and I think if he hit it any more full, I don't think he could get in there.
I think he hits a 15, on the way over there.
You don't like that move because he's opening up the 15? Or?
Well, honestly, yes, he opens up the 15, and he's not taking a sure set to establish his set.
Solids are all there now, Zeb, huh?
Solids,
I see that right?
Solids are all there. See, he opened it up for him by moving that 2 ball. That was the only problem with the 2.
Yeah, and if it didn't go, he must have thought it went.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, he wouldn't have shot that unless he thought it went, huh?
Correct.
So, I mean, our vantage point's difficult, but I'm in agreement with you. I don't think that ball went, but he obviously had to have thought it did. I mean, you're not shooting that in a million years if it didn't go. I mean,
If you're questioning that at all, then no, you don't shoot that ball. You don't move it.
so he had to have. I mean, he's tired, and this is. I go back to being tired. I was even tired a little bit earlier when I was playing Clat.
Yep.
And that little thing, I started shooting quick in that last rack. If I played him in the morning, he was a dead man. I would have walked around and seen that. And I got in that tunnel vision, wanting to shoot a little too quick because I'm starting to feel wore down.
Yeah, your mind starts zoning out.
Yeah.
I get it.
But I think that may be what he did. His mind, he just
Yep.
got tired and shot a shot he thought was there, and it really wasn't there. I mean,
And in the defense of these champions, honestly, these guys are really good players. But here's the deal is, these guys have been playing since 10 o'clock this morning, 12 o'clock this morning sometimes. I don't know what time they started the tournament for the 8-ball, but
they started at about 5 or 5:30. But
some people
but
may
to
have already
qualif-
been
But to qualify, these guys might have had to play in at 9 a.m. this morning when I did. That's what
right.
I'm telling you.
Yeah.
I mean, it's. And then they played 10 ball the last 2 days.
That's 10 hours of pool. Yeah.
Ooh,
He
he missed
overcut
one.
it. He overcut it.
This is going to be some drama, Zeb, the way they're playing right now. I don't foresee a
Well-
guy getting out here because they're just not getting
Now,
out.
here's the deal is, the reason why I selected the solids in the first place was because of the 12 and the 13 and the 14 and the 8 right there. And the 15 was covered by the 2 now, but now it's open.
Yeah.
But still, I mean, there's no auto easy out here for Stripes. So he's still got to play a good cue ball. He's still got to play good speed and shot making. Because that 7 ball plays a big problem. So does the 6.
Do you go here and cut the 9, or do you plan backing off?
I think you almost got to go now. But you better know what you're doing.
Oh, the 14 he's got the 14, huh?
Yeah, but that's still no automatic thing, because if that pushes that 12 ball up towards the rail where the 7 is, you're dead still. And this is a long shot to question yourself.
He struck it well.
That was a good shot.
Did he get anything? He's got the 13, eh?
So it looks to me like that 13.
Canadian speak, eh?
That 12 ball does go in the side pocket by that 8 ball.
Oh, it doesn't? Okay.
The,
yeah, looks like it.
The 13 looks like it's tight, but it does go in the corner. He's going to take that one first.
And then stop for the 12, or
Well,
play for this stripe here, down here, and then go up for the 12?
Yeah.
Yeah. That way you don't have to shoot the shot jacked up.
Right.
Well, he's going to go all the way up for the 9 first,
Yeah.
which is good, too.
He had more pocket than I thought.
That's actually smart, because then you finish your run down at this end, and you're not transitioning from the 9 back to the 8, at the end. But I don't know what you like for a key ball here.
Well, in my opinion, I think the 9 ball is it is good to take care of those balls at the other end, but that 9 ball goes at a lot of other different positions on the table. If you
Okay.
get your cue ball to the middle of the table, so it's probably not the biggest concern. My concern would be making sure that 12 ball gets a pocket.
Now, does it go in the lower left between the gap of the 8 and the 6? If you were to get like around in here somewhere
Yeah.
to shoot it, does it go there? Or
I don't think
is
so.
that even an option? I mean, I'm just looking at options.
And honestly, it's even a close hit between the 12 and the 6.
Okay.
You don't want that part of your thought, right? And
yeah,
then
no, I agree with that.
with that 7 ball there, if you hit it a little bit fat, it misses. So
his key ball is going to end up being the 15 here, huh?
yeah,
Because he's going to play, obviously, the 10, 12, 15.
yeah,
you think? Or-
he's got to. Yeah, no, he's forced himself into it. Like I said, I would have been okay with just shooting that 13, 10, 12. Now I've got the 15 to the 9.
Okay.
And then the 8's in the open.
Yeah, the
You're
9
out.
to the 8 wouldn't have been that bad, I guess.
Unless he didn't really like his shot to the 12 in the side, but I mean, if he didn't like that, then why does he like it now? Because he has to?
That's a good drag shot he just played there.
Yep.
Yeah,
That was a
worked
great
out.
shot.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I could go wrong. I mean,
Yeah.
if you don't hit it that good, I mean, if
Yeah,
you
you
don't,
you got to hit a center cue ball, right? Or it starts to turn on you.
do you go, do you stun through this?
Yeah, you're just gonna roll this through.
Roll or stun through? Yeah. Or did he get through it?
Yeah, he got
Yeah,
through.
yeah.
He's okay. Not questioning his pattern play there at all, but you know, it's
But yeah, no, that's what
there's
we
a
do
lot
up
of different
in the booth.
there's a lot of different ways to be able to play a certain rack, right? Like there's a lot of patterns
but it's nice
for
getting
players.
your insights up.
Yeah.
You know, getting your insight and going through the patterns and seeing what your insight is, and that's part of the job of being in the booth. We're not. I mean, I'm not trying to claim I'm smarter than everybody.
No. There's
But it's part of the gig, though.
lots of different ways to play the game, and so that's kind of what we like to do is be able to give a little insight about what we have for our experiences and stuff, and everybody sees things differently too, right?
Yeah,
So
and great execution. Your shot repertoire and what you're capable of doing
Correct.
plays a big factor in
Yep.
how you remove them too, obviously.
Yep.
But definitely.
But a big congratulations to Errol Cameron. That was a tough match, and honestly, a little bit of a stressing out that he ended up having to do. He had to put a little focus into it real late. Hill, lots of pressure, right? So.
Yeah, it wasn't a roadmap.
No.
No, even
Yep.
though I mean they were there, but it wasn't a roadmap like your zones.
Yeah.
Your zones weren't automatic.
That side pocket shot, the shot that he shot before the ball to get on the 8, I've seen that shot missed by some pretty serious pros, you know, so that was nothing automatic. It was a good shot, though. Congrats to Errol, and congrats to Barry on a well-fought tournament. I'm probably going to head out here. It looks
Yeah.
like they're going to lock up this building, so...
Oh, they don't keep it open. Okay. So
I
I'm
don't
gonna
think
end
they
the stream.
will. John is gonna notify the security guards that he's done here, so I think they're probably gonna come shut it down. But if not, whoever's still out there watching, that's over here in the pool tournament, I'm up for action. So, calling out anyone, come play.
Is Jason Klatt around?
I
He's got
s-
to play in the morning, but he was here earlier.
I
He
seen him
might
earlier.
play.
Yeah, he's
He
not
might be out in the casino. So.
he's not one to shy away from action, late night action, right? So,
No.
yep.
But I'm gonna end her now, Zeb.
all right, night
But
all.
yeah, take it easy, everyone. Thanks.
Thanks.
We'll be back.